Hi everyone, welcome back to Idol Talk, where we explore South Korean pop culture one obsession at a time. My name is Nathan and I'm your host.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley, and I've been watching a lot of the 2024 Olympic Games, and I recently saw this meme of Kim Ye-jin from South Korea. She is an 10-meter air pistol shooter,
Oh,
and this
oh, oh,
photo of
yeah.
her went viral because she just looks so cool and, as some people are saying, hot.
I
She's like
saw it.
kind of she has her head tilted up like this. She's like squinting so she could look at her target, and she just looks like the coolest person ever. That's when I discovered that shooting was an Olympic sport. I didn't know that before this photo. So shout out to South Korea and shout out to Kim Ye-ji. She won gold in the competition she was in. So good for her.
I
Also, have
also
you seen the size of the targets that they're shooting at for air pistol?
Are they very small?
They're like literally like as big as your hand. Like they're this big.
Yeah, that
Like
makes
that's how big
sense.
they are.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Queen.
That's awesome. And then I also heard, trying to integrate K-pop into this, that fighting, or I think it was, okay, one of the 17 songs was being played at a volleyball game, and people were like, cool. So I think that's kind of cool too.
Ooh.
Yeah, can't remember which one it was, but it was either fighting or one of their older songs. Like, because
Yeah.
they're very upbeat and happy.
It
So,
was while the South Koreans were playing.
while I don't even know if the South Korea team was playing, but it was playing in the stadium. So,
Nice.
anyways. Okay, hello, Gabe.
Hello, hello. Recently I've been also watching the Olympics, but I really liked, I don't know if the dude was Korean, but it was also shooting, but he was like standing with like his back arched and like holding the rifle like this or whatever. And it was going viral on Twitter. And yeah, I also discovered that shooting was a sport. And apparently the Koreans are very good at it too.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
I just looked up their medal record in shooting. They have 3 gold and 3 silver.
Wow.
Like, who knew that the Koreans were this good? I didn't.
All right. Thank you all for engaging with our Olympic spirit over the next 2 weeks, and then not for a while. Um, but we are back with another episode of K-Bops, and we will start us off this time with Gabe.
All right, so this time around, we're doing a special boy group edition. So I've been forced out of my
Comfort
usual,
zone.
my MO, my pattern of girl groups. But I did find a good song that I liked, and this one is by ENHYPEN, and it's the 5th track on their 2nd studio album, and it's called Brought the Heat Back. So this track was, as I said, off their 2nd studio album, Romance Untold. And this was the album where the title track was, I think, XO Only If You Say Yes. That was the title track of this album. So the album itself was released on July 11th, and they set a pre-order record of 2.2 million sales just in pre-orders.
Wow.
It debuted at number 2 on the US Billboard album chart.
Mm.
So I mean, I haven't really been keeping up with ENHYPEN, but I feel like they're very much leaning into like the global kind of appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And the music video for this track, I think they released like a title track and then like a B-side music video or something. And then this was like just another additional music video that they decided to record and release later on. But this one was very in tune with like the summer concept, but kind of not the traditional summer concept. It was more of like the spooky summer thing, which the Koreans really like and enjoy. And I remember reading about this when Dreamcatcher did like a spooky summer concept, and it's because the feeling of being like spooked and like scared, it's like gives you chills, right? and it's like supposed
Mhm.
to the chills like cool you off in the hot and like the heat of the summer.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
Mm.
so that's
That's
kind
one
of
way to approach summer bops.
yeah, so that's kind of where this was coming from because I know that I was like, oh, this is like weird. I haven't seen like a spooky summer thing in like a while, and I had to like recall what exactly the whole idea behind it was. But yeah, I kind of like it. The whole like it really fits their concept, the whole like vampire bat thing that they
It's
have
true.
going on. They adapted to like a summer thing. So, more power to them. The song itself is about love and kind of jealousy and how it makes you feel like not hot and bothered, like it boils your blood in a sense. Like it makes you feel like annoyed, frustrated. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but that's what they're talking about when they say brought the heat back. That heat is like the heat of like jealousy and like love or whatever. Overall, classic and hype and release. They are leaning into the horror concept. They're leaning
Mm-hmm.
into their music about love and jealousy and whatnot. Even though
Regardless of the season
I know,
of
right?
the year.
And then apparently in an interview that they did recently, the members said that this album is the beginning of their soft era, which
Hmm.
I was like, I don't think this is the beginning of a new era at all. Like this is just totally in tracking with like everything you've done before. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not like they haven't released soft stuff before, like Polaroid Love and things like
True.
that.
But for titles, I feel like
well, this wasn't a
Yeah.
title track. Well,
was this
but the title track, I guess, was kind of in the soft.
yeah, maybe
So,
that's what
Yeah.
they meant. I don't know.
anyways, what did you all think?
I thought that it was good. The whole thing was giving like Thriller, Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Thriller
Like
with
retro concept.
yeah, like a retro 80s remake of Thriller. And especially the parts where they're holding the coffin, they're slamming on like what looks like a armoire with bats and nails, like they have a hand coming out of the grave and they're dancing in like what looks like a cemetery. Like it was giving Thriller.
Is that what happens in Thriller? They're
They're
like dancing
zombies, I
cemetery.
think, in Thriller. They just come back from the dead.
Okay.
It's not necessarily vampires. I think it's more zombies, but same, same, same.
Mhm.
I thought the song was really catchy. Every time I see it in ENHYPEN video, especially ones that are more like mature concepts, I always write, Nikki has really grown up. It's crazy. Because
Nikki
when
looks
I see,
very like edgy and high
yeah,
fashion these days.
yeah, he looks so mature and like so handsome. Because every
How
time
old
I
is
see
he
his face,
again?
he's the Japanese maknae.
Are they 20 yet?
I think
20
they're
old
21 at this point, right?
20.
He has really grown up.
Because
Every time I see his face, I think of Island and when he was like in the basement of Island crying. I can't unsee that every time I
Nikki
look at him.
Nikki is not 20 yet. He was born
dang.
in December of 2005.
December. Okay,
Oh
so
my goodness.
almost one more New Year
Yeah.
ring. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
I will make one comment though about their title track, XO, Only If You Say Yes.
Hmm.
I really love the title. It's giving consent, like
This
hugs
means
and
yes.
kisses only if you agree, like only if you let me.
Wait, is that what the song is about though?
Yeah,
Because
It's
is it
about
wait,
consent.
is it about consent?
it's
Because
not
like
about consent.
okay,
I mean,
but it could be
it's
giving.
yeah, well, I just like that he's like, I would like to hug and kiss you, like only if you say yes, like only if you let me. I mean,
Oh,
obviously, you
okay.
would only do that if
Right.
someone let you, but
What I
like,
thought the song was about, just like looking at the title, I obviously we didn't we didn't necessarily recommend the song. But when I just read it, it was like, oh, I like you. Oh, but only if you like me back, kind of thing. And I can take it back really easy, kind of thing.
uh,
Because that's a kind of cutesy,
it could be maybe interpreted
maybe
that way.
more K-pop appropriate.
Yeah.
But that's how I kind of saw it. It's like, oh, I like you, but only if you like me back. But I'm good if you're good, kind of thing. But also if you're down, I'm down.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, I thought the song was also good. It's interesting that you said that they thought that this album or whatever was a little bit softer because I thought that this was a little bit again like more of their same kind of music that's not like Stray Kids hard hitting necessarily, but still goes a little bit
It's like
hard,
there's
hard
a
of the
level
paint.
of intensity that they
Yeah,
have.
it's still very intense. I think it's like still pretty easy on the ear and still catchy, but still like I would characterize it as pretty intense,
Mhm.
right? Like even if this is like kind of like a summer bop. But yeah, I've also kind of noticed that ENHYPEN has a greater K-pop aura now, like K-pop presence now, because they've kind of been in the game for a while. Like a lot of them are emceeing at music shows and things like that, and then they're kind of becoming more staple names. So I feel like it's good that they've been able to build up to that stature, especially because they could have been just kind of seen and stagnant as BTS's little brothers. But I feel like they've been kind of making a name and brand for themselves, which is kind of cool.
I
Mhm.
think it helps that BTS is out of the picture currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they just went to KCON and did their thing, and
Good for them.
good for them. Yeah. Anyways, any other last thoughts, Gabe, on this song? Okay,
Nope.
awesome. All right. We will then turn to Ashley.
My recommendation is one of RIIZE's latest singles, and it is Boom Boom Bass. RIIZE released Boom Boom Bass on June 17th, along with their first mini album titled Rising, RIIZING. This album consists of 8 songs, and like 5 of the songs are singles that have been released prior. So they've been building this mini album since
Mm-hmm.
like October 2023. Like ever since Talk
When they debuted.
Saxy.
Oh, okay. They
No,
talk
Talk
sassy. Okay.
Saxy. They've been releasing singles only up until now, where they're just putting all those singles together along with like 3 other songs, and now they have a mini album. Which I thought was interesting because like normally mini albums, they have the same type
Is it
of
a mini or
release
full?
schedule. Huh?
Was this a mini
It's a
album or a full?
it's a mini album,
Mm.
but usually mini albums they have the same type of release that like a normal like title track does. They have like the pre-release, maybe
Mm.
2 pre-releases, and then the title and then the B-side or whatever, like that's just standard. But this one they've been releasing singles ever since
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
Talk Sexy, Love 119, Siren, Impossible, and now Boom Boom Bass. That's 5 singles that they're just like now throwing into mini album. So it's
And
just
it's
an
much easier
interesting
for the
strategy.
listener to consume because it all came one at a time. And
Right.
then now they're able to sell, like if you liked one out of the or 2 songs out of 5, like that'll probably get you to
Right.
buy, right?
Right. Was interesting strategy. The song Boom Boom Bass, if you watch the music video, they're doing like a guitar thing, kind of like get a guitar. Like it's basically get a guitar part 2.
It is
The
part 2,
music
but it's
But it's got a
different.
bass
Yeah,
guitar.
it's different.
it's more focusing on the bass guitar. But yeah, maybe they'll go through all the instruments in the band, like guitar, bass guitar, drums. But yeah, it's a 80s inspired dance pop, funky disco beat song that focuses on like being so into the music and letting the music like feeling the rhythm and enjoying the bass. So in the lyrics they're like calling to lower the bass to just get like the rhythm
Mm.
flowing so everyone can be uplifted by the power of music. this song has like a very obvious Michael Jackson inspired choreography. There's a lot of times where they're even doing like, you know, the Michael Jackson lean where he's kind of like just standing in a place and he just like leans forward. Anyway,
Sure.
they do moves like that. They're not necessarily like moonwalking or like hip thrusting, although the point choreography is basically a hip thrust, but
Right.
if you watch carefully, there's a lot of Michael Jackson inspired moves in there. The last thing I'll say about this song is I have been like really salty at RIIZE for just like throwing Sun-chan and Shotaro in when they should have been in NCT.
Mhm.
But now I
What is
think
your
that
tone? How's your tone changed?
my tone has really changed. I think that Sung-chan and Shotaro are getting the better end of the stick here because NCT is not doing as well as RIIZE.
That's true.
If you look at the circle chart right now, RIIZE has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs in the top 100. Boom Boom Bass at 20 as of this week. Love 119, Get a Guitar, which was their debut track
Still
like
on
2
there.
years ago or whatever. Impossible and Siren. And Siren was a pre-release, like pre-debut track that they just threw onto this mini album here. So it did get released like 2 months ago or whatever, but like that's five songs in the top 100. Whereas if you look at NCT 127 or even Dream,
Anything, yeah.
they only have Walk, which is at I think number 40 right now.
Right. And it's just new.
And yeah, it's just new. Like they don't have that like sound that everyone is really into.
Well, but
And
we've known that, right? Like NCT doesn't make music for the masses.
I
that's
think
true.
127 definitely has not traditionally, but something can be said about Dream's
Dream.
sound that is more
Yeah.
appealing to masses.
If you look at the circle chart, just history of this last year, Dream's Smoothie debuted at number 3. But it's like off the charts already. And that's like that song came out a couple months ago. Get a Guitar came out like a year ago
True.
and it's still on the chart. So
People be
all that to
liking
say,
what they hear about from RIIZE.
yeah,
That's all I have to say.
all that to say, maybe Sung-chan and Shotaro are better off not being in NCT.
Or they're just getting a different experience, and also they get to shine in ways that they don't have to fight over attention with 20 other people, which is probably good.
That's true.
Well, for a long time, NCT was like the only game in town, right? So like we didn't know an alternative, but
right.
There's always room for more.
Yeah.
I think RIIZE is really impressing me this year. I think they are sticking to their guns in terms of, again, withstanding the temptation of hard-hitting boy group releases. And I think that it's paying off for them. I think also, this is like a very SM comment that I'm going to make is, I think their vocals still stand out because there's just not a big market for it these days. And
so are they like not particularly talented vocalists, but it's just that they're not?
no, I think that they're really good.
Oh, okay.
I just think that they're good, and also the industry is still not focusing on it. So I think the gap is still there, and they have that advantage. And I also think that, are they like 5th generation, 6th generation? Like, what are they now? 5? It's probably 5.
I feel like
Okay,
I've lost
whatever
count.
the most
around
recent,
5.
yeah, the most recent generation. Like, my favorite member is Sohee. I've picked one now.
Of course.
And I think he is the most talented vocalist of the generation. which is
Oh,
expected
we're-
from an SM group, but also he just has that unique voice, similar to how Tail had a unique voice, similar to how Chen had a unique voice, similar to how who am I missing? Right? Like it's just going down and he's the next in
I don't know.
line.
Onu.
Oh no, sorry, of course. Why? Okay, how can I forget him? I just think that he's next in line for that. And there are impressive people in RIIZE, and I thought that this release was very good.
Which member is the one with the red hair in the
So
music?
he,
Oh yeah,
that's him.
I liked him too. Yeah.
He's their main, he's not their main vocal, but he's their guy who sings the best.
Yes. And he's now the MC at M Countdown, one of them. So along with I think
Sweet boy.
another boy next door boy and the third one. I can't remember. Oops. But I think it kind of has started to they're starting to really rise the ranks here. And I think
No pun intended.
yes. Oh, no pun intended. But yeah, Songchan and Shotaro are still doing their dang thing too, like with the strengths that they have. So I think Songchan has actually assumed a more visual role, interestingly
Yeah.
enough. Yeah,
Because that one kid left.
that's true.
Or I don't know what happened to
Sunghan
him.
left.
Indefinite hiatus.
Correct.
If you look at their Wikipedia, they still have him as one of the members because he's on indefinite hiatus. But like he's out. He's basically out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
So
like barely noticed Shotaro in the music video. I was like, oh, I haven't really seen him that much.
Well,
he's still
I'm
dancing.
surprised that you say that because they did give him obligatory dance break. Like he was the only one at one moment dancing. And if you watch the stages, there's a point where like everyone walks away and Shotaro has like 15 seconds of dance break.
I think, okay, also at one point in the last 3 months or so, Wonbin had ranked the #1 like Korean celebrity brand. And it was probably
Yeah.
around the time that Love 119 came out. So he's kind of in this strange, like Joy-esque moment right now. Like after
Mm-hmm.
Joy's confetti era,
Mm-hmm.
like that's what's happening also to Wonbin.
Good for him. I did
So
see that they were like they just became ambassadors for Louis Vuitton,
Mm.
which that's to be expected if you're a big boy group, you know, you're a designer brand ambassador, but yeah, they're popping off.
yeah,
So
I think the 5th generation is really stepping up to the plate. But all right. Another relatively new boy group is going to be my recommendation. So my rec this time around is going to be TWS's If I'm S, Can You Be My N? So when I told Ashley and Gabe that I was going to rec this song, they were like, wait, what does this mean? And what's going on? So I'm going to get to that. So they released this song as part of their second mini album at the end of June also. So we're still catching up with some of these K-Bops during our summer hiatus. But they came out with this release June 24th. And again, it was part of their second mini album. It's supposed to be a summer mini album. So the title of their album is called Summer Beat. I feel very summer vibes when I hear this song, If I'm S, Can You Be My N? The music video is also super bright and it depicts one of my favorite concepts in K-pop, which is school concept.
God.
I just love
yes.
it.
That's
Whether
literally my first bullet point here. My first bullet point in my notes is I love school concepts so much.
yes, I love school concept. I love like PE outfit school concept. I like school uniform school concepts. I like people sitting in desks. I
After
also
school, you go to the
yeah,
convenience store.
after school hagwon concept, like I'm into it. And I also like school duality. So like if they're in their PE outfits, I saw some people with like silver bracelets and stuff. I'm down for that. Like I like that I like that duality. So the song itself is really interesting because you're like, okay, what is this N and what is this N? And like, I don't know, it's nothing genius and it's nothing crazy. It's just related to MBTI. So in
Oh.
in society, I mean, this is a thing like personality types, but in South Korea, it's like very big, as we talked about it with ISTJ with NCT Dream. But I guess South Korea is not looking back at this MBTI stuff. So S's are basically like you can't be both an S and an N. You're either S or you're N. So the song is basically about the compatibility of opposites. And as you'll see in the music
Oh.
video, Shinyu, who is the center of the music video and center of the storyline here, um, is very much kind of trying to achieve goals, whether it be like athletic goals or like at the end, the athletic goals or that of the like, or metaphorically, right? But he needs like the support of his members and his friends in order to get to his goals. So the song is basically talking about how we need these opposite people in our lives and developing those relationships in order to further yourself, which I thought is also one of my favorite
That's cute.
Korean pop tropes, which is like friendships, school friendships, working together, teamwork. But it's also like a different spin because like it's opposites attract and like
Mm-hmm.
opposites work well together. So in any case, there's S's and there's N's. And they're basically like saying, I kind of need you, which is cool. Or
What does S and what does N mean?
okay, good that you asked that. So
I'm an S.
Gabe's an S. So do you know what that means for yourself?
I'm sensing. It's
Yeah,
like
you're sensing.
you like you like interpret things through like the outside world more. So like N people are a little bit more like in their head
Imaginative.
and they like process information like more internally, whereas I like S people rely more on like their surroundings and like interpreting the world from like
Mm.
what they can see, observe, touch, hear, feel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait, sorry,
Okay.
Gabe. So you're S, right?
Yes, I'm S.
Okay. I think I'm probably S also, but in any case, so yeah, one of the big distinctions is what Gabe was saying, like processing information from like concretely like what is there, from like what you feel, what you taste, whatever. And then N's tend to be a little bit more like imaginative. And in the video,
Mm.
Shinyu is an S, and he kind of like needs that like outside of the sense, like outside of just what is actually sense in order to imagine like his goals and to achieve his goals.
An
Um,
outside of the box thinker.
Kind of like more imaginative thinking, like more
Oh.
He's
idealistic
thinking like
thinking.
theories,
Yeah, like idealistic,
ideas, whereas S
Mm.
people think more like in concrete
like
terms.
clear, straightforward, to the point. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
so
what's observable and what's
yeah,
yeah.
which makes sense. Well, okay, well, that's super biased of me to say. But
No,
at the end,
I think N people make no sense. But yeah, that's just me.
but that's the whole point of the music video is that like bringing this both together, you kind of need both of those perspectives in order to push forward. So at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
music video, the big goal is just like this track meet. He's like pole vaulting, and then like Shinyu like jumps and he achieves his pole vaulting goal. Right. Anyways, but he needs like the support of his members in order to do that. So in my
Mm.
research of the song, what I also found super interesting was that there are 6 members. 3 of them are N's and 3 of them are S's. And in the choreo, they do these duo partner dances, and it's always an S with an N. an S with an N, an S with
Wow.
an N. And then apparently also when they sing the parts, they're also separated into S and N
Oh my God.
parts. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that until I looked into it. I just picked the song because I thought the music video was kind of fun and exciting. And also I like the melody. But they really doubled down on this
Yeah.
S and N MBTI. And I love NCT Dream with all my heart and soul, but I totally didn't understand what INFJ was.
ISTJ, right?
ISTJ was. And I think that this was the personality concept that I'm looking for.
Like if
Like,
you do a personality
if you're
concept,
gonna do
this
it,
is
you're
the
gonna
way
have
to
to
do it.
actually like it like is actually like emotionally meaningful, right?
Yeah.
In any case, I'm not trying to compare, but I thought that this was really interesting. I thought also the choreo, the simple outfits. It's also a break from. It's just like very refreshing, and like in terms of the melody. So I really liked it, but
Mhm.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this group / song.
I also really liked it. And for a lot of the same reasons, it's refreshing, it's a summer kind of, we haven't had good, just like classic summer pop
Yes,
songs in a while, right? And especially from boy groups, because they just love to do whatever the hell. Like Stray Kids just loves to do whatever I don't even
doesn't
know.
matter what time of season
I
it is.
know.
They're just yelling and screaming and whatever. So there's fire and race cars and anyways, so it was good to not see
Motorcycles.
it was good to not see a race car or a fire in the whole music video. And I also really liked like the choreo, like the partner choreo, which was really fun. It was like very BL coded almost.
A, a little bit,
And so
but
like that was
like
also very
it's
funny.
school friendship.
So that was a big drop for me as the resident BL watcher with Casey.
Yeah. I thought that, like I said, I love school concept. I thought it was really cute. Halfway through the song, I thought that this could be a girl group song if it
That's
was just an octave higher.
Mhm.
Like that, like it just is so bubbly and not
yeah.
something that I normally see from a boy group. Like this is very standard for girl groups,
Like Fromis,
which
like this could be a Fromis 9 song.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, it could. 100%. Even the rap parts,
We're
those
gentle
are always,
raps.
yeah, they were gentle raps. They weren't like hard boy
Yes.
raps. They were all very good. And I don't
And
mean that in a bad way. Like it could be a girl
yes,
song, but it was also really good as a boy song.
I think more boy groups need to do things like this. Like this is why TWS and RIIZE are being rewarded.
Mhm. Leave the race cars in 2020, please.
We've been saying this, and like it's always nice to go, like it's always nice. The aggressive concepts are always good also. Like they're appealing and they have their advantages in their own ways, but I feel like this has a little bit more like longevity. It's not
Well,
just like
yeah.
a one-time shocker surprise and maybe you watch it one more time just for the sake of it. Right? It's
Well,
like
and then also the race car thing, we've lost the shock value because it's been done so many times.
Maybe
is true.
the race car thing will have a resurgence like Espa. Espa's concept got stale for a couple years and then they came back with Armageddon or whatever superhero concept and then they're back. So
That's true.
maybe next year race cars will be in. Who
That's true.
knows?
I wonder what possible concept changes are in store for these two groups.
Mhm.
Because I mean, I feel like they can still do this for like the next 2 years and it wouldn't be awkward. But like it'd be interesting as much as I like these types of softer concepts to think about how much longer they will definitely go for this. Because there's a big track record of moving back and forth and back and forth. And
Yeah. I think with RIIZE though, RIIZE has found a way to continue the emotional pop into maturity. Not saying
Mm,
that they are like a mature concept group yet. I mean, they could be whatever, but like it's not like they're releasing bubblegum like
right.
emotional pop. Like it seems as though the genre that they picked does have longevity, and I don't see them having to fall back onto race car concept because
Race car
like they're
concept.
fine. They're fine with emotional pop here, you know?
Yes. And it would be interesting to see. And I'm looking forward to our the year of the end, like end of the year roundups on where we think this is all headed. Centering in like all three of these people, all three of these groups, ENHYPEN, TWS, and RIIZE. So in any case, okay. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in. We're on Instagram at Idol Talk Pod. Please rate, review, and subscribe to us on all of our major podcast directories and streaming platforms. If you have any feedback or content requests, we have our email, idletalkpod@gmail.com. We also have our content directory, idletalkpod.oo.ai, where you'll see previous episodes categorized, including playlists, song recommendations, and all the above, including information about us. And it could be found in the description of our episodes here. All right, until next time, we'll leave you all with those bops, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.